अस्सलामुअलैकुम। अम्मार एंड साकिब चैनल से हम आपको खुशामदीद कहते हैं। तो आज मैं आपको पहले अपने चैनल का पूरा तारुफ दूंगी। अम्मार एंड साकिब के घर से आपको मिलेंगे बहुत मज़े मज़े के खाने और बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग और अच्छी सी स्टोरीज़, उर्दू भी और इंग्लिश भी, और इंटरेस्टिंग व्लॉग्स। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। और हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि आप हमारे ये इंटरेस्टिंग व्लॉग्स, स्टोरीज़ और खाने बहुत पसंद करेंगे और हमारे इंशाल्लाह ताला हमारी यूट्यूब फैमिली में इजाफ़ा भी होता चला जाएगा दिन ब दिन। हमने पिछली वीडियो में, लास्ट जो हमारी वीडियो गई है, उसमें हमने ये प्लान किया था कि 1000 के हम पूरे करेंगे, लेकिन वो अभी तक मुकम्मल नहीं हो सके। लेकिन अभी भी हमें उम्मीद है कि आप इसमें हमारी ज़रूर मदद करेंगे और इंशाल्लाह ताला इसमें हमारी 3000 के की पूरा टास्क है। देखें, जो भी हदफ रखा जाए तो अल्लाह ताला देखें उसमें मदद करते हैं और हमें उम्मीद है कि आप हमारी ज़रूर मदद करेंगे। और आपको ये मालूम होना चाहिए कि अब लॉकडाउन फिर हो गया है, बच्चों के स्कूल फिर बंद हो गए, तो इसलिए हमने अब सोचा कि क्यों ना स्टोरीज़ का जो है सिलसिला है वो दोबारा शुरू किया जाए। तो बच्चे भी जो है वो फारिग हैं, तो वो स्टोरीज़ का मुताला और बाकी दूसरी किताबों का मुताला करते रहते हैं। तो आज इंग्लिश स्टोरी जो है वो अम्मार आपको सुनाएंगे, बहुत ही अच्छी स्टोरी। तो लेकिन हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि इंशाल्लाह ताला आप हमारे चैनल को ज़रूर सपोर्ट करेंगे, ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब करेंगे और लाइक और शेयर भी करेंगे और बेल आइकन को प्रेस करना तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं भूलेंगे इंशाल्लाह। तो हमें उम्मीद है कि आप जो है हमारे ये 1000 के और 3000 के का जो टास्क है वीडियोस का, ये ज़रूर हमारा मुकम्मल करवाएंगे। और आप यकीन जानिए कि हम बहुत मेहनत कर रहे हैं, बहुत मेहनत कर रहे हैं, हमारी पूरी फैमिली बहुत मेहनत कर रही है और जो यूट्यूब फैमिली है हमारी, और हमें पूरी उम्मीद है कि वो हमारा ज़रूर साथ देगी और हमें वो बहुत ज़रूर सपोर्ट करेगी इंशाल्लाह ताला। हमें उम्मीद है कि हम और अपने फ्रेंड में इजाफ़ा देखेंगे। तो जब चलें अब इंशाल्लाह ताला अमार आपको स्टोरी सुनाने वाले हैं, तो तैयार हो जाइए। शुक्रिया और अल्लाह हाफिज़। टेक केयर।
Salty Seagull, A Tale of an Old Salt. Written by Suzanne Tate and illustrated by James Melvin. Salty Seagull was a salty old salt. He was wise in ways around the water. Salty lived on Little Island with a big flock of gulls. He was the oldest of his flock. Salty's wings drooped down, but they still carried him far, and the feathers on them were bright and black. Salty proudly held his white head high. Young birds in the flock, Cindy and Simon Seagull, thought that he was the smartest gull of all. But the other gulls didn't think so. When Salty tried to tell them what they should or shouldn't do, those gulls sassed him. "Don't get your feathers ruffled," the sassy birds said to Salty. They really didn't think that he was very smart. In the summertime, all the gulls led lovely lives on Little Island. The weather was breezy and warm, and there were lots of little fish for them to catch and eat. But one summer, a big rain came. The wind picked up and blew and blew. It was blustery. It blew so hard that the gulls didn't even try to fly. They huddled together on the ground beside some bushes. The gulls were afraid that they would blow away. "Salty, what are we going to do?" cried Cindy Seagull. She was scared. "What's happening?" asked Simon Seagull, trying to be brave. "This is called a hurricane," Salty said. "I've seen many bad storms like this." "Stay down and be still," he said. "We will soon see the eye of the storm. The wind will stop blowing and the sun will shine." "Don't pay attention to him," the sassy gulls said. "Salty's just a bird-brained old bird." Then the sassy gulls tried to fly, but the wind carried them faster and faster. It tumbled and turned them. Suddenly, bright sunshine came out, and the wind stopped blowing. The weather was beautiful, just as Salty had said. It was the eye of the hurricane. Cindy Seagull soared into the sky. She felt free as a bird. "Oh, how beautiful!" she thought. Simon Seagull flew up to join her. "Salty was right," he said. But Salty Seagull shouted, "The storm will return. Come back where it is safe." So they all flew to the ground and huddled together again. The storm returned, as Salty said. It blew and rained some more. And then the storm was over. The sassy gulls came straggling back to Little Island. Cindy Seagull tried to tell them about the eye of the hurricane, but those sassy gulls shook their heads. "Just some more of Salty's tales," they said. The season of hurricanes soon ended, and the weather turned cold. There were fewer and fewer fish in the waters around Little Island. The gulls were having trouble finding enough to eat. They were getting hungry. "What are we going to do for food?" Cindy Seagull asked. "Let's ask Salty," replied Simon Seagull. "Maybe he has a plan." Salty did know what they should do. "We can eat clams," he said. The sassy gulls laughed. "What a bird-brained idea," they cackled. "You know we can't eat clams. Their shells are too hard." Salty Seagull didn't say another word. He flew away over the water. The other gulls watched as Salty dived into the cold water. Soon he came up with a clam in his beak. Then he did a surprising thing. Salty Seagull flew with the clam to a nearby road. He flew high above the road. He dropped the clam, and its shell broke into pieces. Juicy meat spilled out of it. All the gulls were so surprised. They too began diving and picking up clams and dropping them onto the road. The clams broke open and meat spilled out. The gulls had plenty of food to eat. There was just one thing wrong. When the gulls sat down in the road to eat clams, cars came along. It was dangerous to eat clams on the road. "Watch out for cars," Salty warned them, and all of the gulls listened to him. One day, humans came and worked near the road. They were paving a parking lot in front of a store. The parking lot was black and hard. Salty Seagull was pleased. "What a good place to drop clams," he said. "It should be a safer place for us." As soon as the parking lot was done, the gulls began to drop clams on it. "You were right, Salty," said Cindy Seagull. "The parking lot is safer than the road. The store is closed this time of year. We won't have to worry about cars." None of the gulls was ever again sassy to Salty. "You make a hit with us," the gulls said as they all dropped clams. And thanks to Salty Seagull, they never went hungry in the winter time again.